Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole and welcome to Monetary Makeup. So there have been quite a few luxury and high-end releases lately, but there's also been quite a few drugstore products. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the new drugstore products that I've been testing out. So I thought we would do a chatty get ready with me while I test out some of these new products. And some of those products include a few items from the Simpson Revolution collaboration, the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Serum Foundation, and two new products from Revlon, one of which is a 16-hour grip matte primer, and the other is a 24-hour lock color stay setting mist. And I have a product that isn't new, but it's definitely one of my hidden gems. So if you're excited to get started and enjoy the video while you're watching, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and let's get started right now. Alright you guys, so I already have on my skincare. However, I don't have on SPF yet because I do actually have this Sunbum face mist that I want to test out. Now, I realize that wouldn't be adequate coverage for SPF, but it's actually super late at night, so I don't have to worry about that right now. But I do just want to test it out for the consistency. Because if you're like me, you probably can't stand greasy sunscreens in any formula. So since summer is nearing, I definitely wanted to test out this Sunbum face mist. So this is supposed to have SPF 45, be non-comedogenic, which is fantastic because I myself am acne prone, and it's enriched with witch hazel, which is a fantastic product for breakouts. So I really want to see how good this mister is and just see if it's greasy or anything. So let me give it a shake. Wow, this mister is really nice. So I just read the directions on the back, and it specifically says do not spray this directly on the face, to put it on the hands first. So definitely be careful and don't do what I did. Well, my mirror is completely covered now. I have been loving these makeup erasers that I picked up from Ulta. I think these are also around 20 bucks depending on how many you get. But you know how sunscreen is usually kind of greasy to get off, especially for mirrors? Look at that. I just used this to wipe it off and it didn't leave any residue and I didn't have to apply any Windex or anything like that. All right, well, I definitely look dewy now, but I don't feel greasy at all. So this might actually be a great one to apply over makeup. The one thing is though, this definitely does have a strong fragrance scent to it. So if you're sensitive to fragrance, I would definitely skip this one. So this is called the Revlon Color Stay 16-Hour Grip Matte Primer. Now it says right on the front, Superfood Detox Blend. I'm not really sure what that means. If any of you know, definitely let me know in the comments. Now, don't make fun of me. I know I pretty much never have my nails painted. I just feel like I never have time to do it. But I was at Ulta the other day and I saw this duochrome nail polish. This is from Pacifica and the shade is called Abalone. And I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up, but it shifts from kind of like a green turquoise to a purple. So I'm really excited to try this out soon. All right, back to the primer. Now, even though I have oily skin, it also is very dehydrated, especially in the winter. So I'm pretty picky about primers, especially matte primers. So if it emphasizes any texture or dry patches, I'll definitely let you know. So on the swatch, it definitely looks like it's going to have that silicone feel. And I'm just going to apply this to the forehead because I do want to show you the dewy finish that Neutrogena Serum Foundation has. So that way we can kind of see if there's a difference. Oh yeah, this is definitely mattifying almost immediately, I can tell. So this might be a good drugstore primer if you have oily skin. Now it is silicone-y, but it's not really silicone-y. Do you know what I mean? Some primers can kind of have a super slippy feeling. This is more of a silky texture. Okay, before I forget, I have to share this product with you. So this is not a new product, you guys. Now, I happened to stumble across this when I was at Ulta a few weeks ago. So this is called the Ulta Beauty Under Eye Primer. Now this retails for $12 and I've been using this product for a couple of weeks now and I'm smiling because this is the first under eye primer product that I've used that actually makes a difference on my under eyes. So it kind of looks like a concealer when you take it out of the tube, but it has the nicest formula for the under eyes. It's definitely hydrating and it's not super thin. I wouldn't say it's thick, but it's kind of right in the middle. But this makes my concealer blend so nicely over it. I tested out the Revolution under eye primer a few months ago, and that didn't do anything. It was super thin. It had no grip to it whatsoever. This product is incredible. Highly recommend checking it out. So I'm just going to apply that to the left eye. That way you can see the difference. All right, next up is the new Neutrogena Healthy Skin Serum Foundation. This is a beautiful formula. If you have dry skin or dehydrated skin, this is one of the most beautiful dewy foundations I've ever used. So if you have extremely oily skin and you don't like any sort of a dew, this might not be the product for you. Now, even though I'm oily, I'm also dehydrated. So on days where I was super dehydrated, I went in with this foundation. It was so hydrating and definitely healthy on the skin. Now I have the shade Light 2. Let me show you a swatch of this. Now I went with Light 2 because this shade has a cool undertone where Light 1 had more of a neutral or warm undertone, and this is a perfect match. Now you'll see in a second when I do the demo, this product definitely has more coverage than a sheer skin tint, so I would say you can build it up to a light or light medium finish. I just noticed looking in the camera, look at how matte my forehead looks and the rest of my skin looks super dewy. So yeah, that's definitely doing its job in mattifying. Now, unfortunately, this foundation does have a dropper. I can't stand droppers. Let me know, do you guys like droppers? I personally just find them super messy, but I'm gonna squirt out, I don't know, almost a full dropper there. So as you can see, it definitely has a runny consistency, but I really like this foundation because it has more than a sheer finish. Going in with my IT Cosmetics number 704 brush sold at Ulta. So let's do the bottom half of the skin since I have that matte primer on the top. I've actually been using this brush for a couple of weeks now, and I really like it, especially for sunscreens, skincare, but also those more serum-y foundations like this one. And it's almost like a stippling brush, but I find it doesn't pick up a ton of product, so I've really been enjoying this brush. The one thing I love about this foundation too is even though it's dewy, I find it doesn't break down like a lot of skin tints or serum foundations can. So I feel like it lasts a lot longer than many others. So I have quite a few breakouts right now. I have a couple right here. So see how it actually covered that? Not 100% of course, but in comparison to this side with all the redness I have, hopefully you can see the difference. Now this side I have a ton of breakouts on, so you'll see how well this covers for a serum. So I didn't apply it to the forehead yet, but can you see how dewy this foundation is? And yes, you can still see my breakouts coming through, but as I keep mentioning, it's definitely not a sheer coverage, and you can definitely build it up, but I do find 1 to 1.5 layers is really where this foundation shines. So if you're looking for a beautiful dewy foundation from the drugstore, this is beautiful. All right, so next let's go in and do the forehead where we have the matte primer. All right, well that blended out very quick, very easy, just as it has in the past for me. So hopefully you can tell the difference from this half of the skin to the part where I applied the mattifying product. All right, I don't have a new concealer, so let's just go in with the NYX Serum Concealer. I'm using the shade Fair, and a little bit of this goes a very long way. So let's do the right eye first, the side that I didn't apply any primer on. This is still one of my favorite concealers, and I wouldn't even say that it's a concealer that's good for the price. I would just say it's overall one of my favorites because the formula is so nice. See how nice that sits underneath the eyes? I mean, yes, you can probably tell I'm wearing concealer just because of the shade, But when I go in with shade light, which is basically my exact skin match, you can hardly tell I'm wearing makeup. All right, now let's do the side that has the eye primer. And I always have to apply a little bit of concealer in the center of my face, just because I do get quite a bit of redness, and I'm just using whatever's left on my brush. And I'm going to take my damp sponge and just do a little bit of blending here. Doing the right eye first, that way there's no cross-contamination from the under eye primer. Alright, so this is one of those products that I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera. However, when I look in my mirror, I'm definitely noticing that the lines underneath my eyes look much smoother on this side rather than this one. So once again, I wouldn't say this product necessarily makes your concealer last longer, but I do find it really does smooth out the under eyes. Alright, I just went in and quickly applied the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Mascara. This is an amazing brow product. I actually like it better than the Benefit Gimme Brow because I find it performs similar to the Benefit Gimme, but because this has more fibers in it, it gives me a little bit more faux hairs. And let me tell you what, when this stuff sets, it sets. And I went in with the NYX Proof It Eye Primer. Alright, next I want to test out a few Revolution products. So this is from the Simpsons Revolution collaboration. Now I didn't pick up every single item, but I did pick up a bronzer and a lippy. So the lippy is in the shade Rad and the bronzer is in the shade Radiant. So I haven't tried these products out yet. So this looks like, yeah, this is a lip balm. So let's see how this formula does. I'm finding I can actually build this up to have a little bit of color to it. Still on the sheer side, but you can definitely build it up a little bit. So this is the shade Rad. So this is the product I'm actually really excited about. So the one thing I find with Revolution or Makeup Revolution, any of their sister brands, their eyeshadow formulas are not the best. However, when it comes to their complexion or base products, I do find they kill it with many of them. So this is a liquid bronzer. Now let me tell you, the amount of bronzers that I swatch and they look straight up orange on me, pretty much all of them. But this one, take a look at this. This is a nice true brown neutral bronzer, no orange to it whatsoever. Now let's just see if the formula is any good. So I'm thinking I'm just going to use the same brush I use for the foundation and kind of dot this on the skin. So let's start with the forehead. And I have no idea how pigmented these are. They seem to be kind of pigmented when I swatch them, but you never know until you start blending. Oh, this shade, you guys, it's so good. I do kind of wish it was in a balm formula though, like the Fenty Cheeks Out. I love those types of formulas, but as long as it performs well, I will make do. All right, this is blending out so quick, so easy. It doesn't look splotchy. It's not picking up my foundation. It's probably a little hard to tell on camera because I went in with a light hand, but next let's do the cheekbones. This shade is perfect. I could not ask for a better bronzer shade. You know, they had one left. I might actually pick up the other one. This is a nice formula, you guys. It is blending out really nice. You know, this is actually pretty easy to use. All I'm doing is taking a little dot on the back of my hand. You could definitely put it on the back of your hand to start, but I find this is working just fine. Now, if you have a warm undertone, I don't know if this would be the best shade for you, you know, just because it's not warm, I guess. But if you have a cool or neutral undertone, this shade is so good. You guys, this blends so nice. And you know, the other nice thing is this is not a super sheer formula. There's definitely a time and place for sheer products, but this definitely has some great pigment to it. You saw I barely went in with just a couple of dots, so I'm able to really build this up, but I could probably go in with more product to start, but I really like to slowly build up my products. That way, you know, it's just harder to take away. I really like the formula too. I feel like it is slightly dewy, but I think it's going to dry down from the looks of it. So kind of the best of both worlds. All right, lip balm, you know, it's okay. It's a lip balm, but this bronzer, this is the bee's knees. I love this formula, super easily blendable, and the shade is spot on. All right, so next, if you guys know me, I am all about using products in a multi-use capacity if we are able to. So I just put a tiny bit of that bronzer on the back of my hand. So let's apply that to the eyes. So I'm just going to kind of apply this like a sheer wash of color. Yeah, this NYX primer is definitely one of my favorites when I'm going to go in with cream products because it has that slightly tacky feel to it. Creams just blend so wonderfully over it. Yeah, this looks really pretty on the eyes. Just gonna add a little bit to the lower lash line. We're keeping it really simple today. All right, I've got to take my clips out, otherwise my bangs will dry wonky. So 1 second. Does your guys' hair stay? Like if I put a pony in or a clip, it really wants to stay in that same spot. And it's so difficult to get back out. That's why I can never wear my hair up and then the next day wear it down, because it just stays exactly how I had it. All right, next I want to go in with cream blush. So I actually don't have a new blush from the drugstore. However, this is from Shop Miss A, and this is the AOA Studio Cream Blushes. And the shade I'm holding up is Cupid. I have a ton of these. This one is in the shade Charm. These perform so beautifully. I find they last well on the skin. And even though on the name it says they're sheer, I don't feel like they're very sheer. They're pretty pigmented. Look at that. I mean, that was one little dip. Look at it. It's definitely not sheer. Is it bad that I don't feel like dirtying another brush, so I'm using my bronzer and foundation? Kind of using the other side though. All right, so the next product I have for you is a new Essence mascara. So this is called Double Trouble. They have a regular version, which is this one, and they also have a waterproof version. This mascara is so good. Now what you'll notice on the wand, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to pick it up on camera, but it's actually double-sided, which is why it's called Double Trouble. So on the bottom it has longer hairs, and on the top it has shorter. Why this mascara is so good is because when you go in and you kind of twirl and wiggle, it pulls from the other side of the brush. So I do find this mascara holds a curl very well, where the original mascara is more volumizing. This one is definitely volumizing too, but I find because of the shape of the wand, it just holds a curl much better. So I haven't tried the waterproof version yet, but I do find that this one does not transfer. As much as I love the Essence Lash Princess mascara, because my lashes they're not super long, but they're long enough to hit my brow bone, that one transfers like crazy. This one does not transfer. So for any of you out there who really like Lash Princess, but you just can't stand that it transfers, this might be a great one to try. So see how you can kind of really get to the root, and then you can twirl it, and as you twirl it, it picks up the other side of the bristles. It's so hard to talk and apply mascara. I'm getting it all over. And I find you can really create a cat eye effect with this one by focusing more of the product on the outer corner. It's like the perfect cat eye and curling mascara. See how it curls them so well? I didn't curl my eyelashes yet. And see how it provides so much volume when you really focus it on the outer corner? I'm telling you what, this actually might be my favorite over Lash Princess. I can't even believe I'm saying that because that has been my favorite for years and years. So what do you guys think about the new Pat McGrath release? I think it's actually an Essence, speaking of talking about Essence Lash Princess and their mascaras. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed. You know, I understand that skincare and makeup go hand in hand, but I have been really hoping for another mothership from her. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit bummed when I realized that was the release. So what's really great also about this mascara is you can use either side, and I find the bottom side works really well for the bottom. Now, I usually apply my bottom lashes first, so that way when I look up, I don't get mascara all over, but I just forgot to do that. All right, I've got you guys super zoomed in because I really want you to see how great this Double Trouble mascara looks. Can you see not only does it have length, but the curl on it is so good, and the volume it provides. And another thing that's great is not only does it transfer, but I find this mascara works wonderful for not only the top lashes, but also the bottom. You know, some are only good for one or the other, and then you have to go on with two mascaras and blah, blah, blah. This one just works great for both. All right, so this is what the skin is looking like. Might as well show you while we're up close here. So I would say my forehead definitely looks matte. So I do have, you know, lights bouncing off, of course, but when you take a look at, especially my cheeks, because I don't have any highlighter on right now, see how dewy this half of the skin looks, and then the forehead looks matte. So yeah, I would say that this primer does what it's supposed to do. You know, it's definitely doing its matte job. Now the lip balm, I feel like the color already wore off, so definitely didn't last too long. All right, let's test out this setting spray. I'm not going to use any powder today because I do want to see if this is going to make a difference on the skin or not. So once again, this was the 24-hour New Lock Revlon setting spray. Now this does have alcohol in the ingredient, so I just wanted to mention that. All right, let's see how this does. Ooh, the sprayer is nice. All right, I am going to leave my bangs looking really weird right now because I want that setting spray to dry down. I do want to quickly mention, because I haven't been able to throw this into a video, but e.l.f. has a new lash curler. This retails for $4 US, and they have another version that is $3 US that they still sell. Let me tell you, for $1 difference, this curler is so good. It has a retractable spring on it, as you can see, and I find it doesn't pull out my lashes and does a great job at curling them. So I was just taking a look at my skin as far as the Revlon setting spray goes, and I do feel like it did take down the dew to my skin. I don't feel like it completely removed the dew, but definitely does look a little bit more matte. I don't know, do you guys notice a difference or not? Now, I do find that setting sprays that contain alcohol in them, now they personally do not irritate my skin, which I'm thankful for, because I do find the ones that contain alcohol, you know, they do help to mattify the skin and help to control my oils better. So this is probably going to be a great setting spray for me, especially in the summer. But if you're sensitive to alcohol, then this might not be the setting spray for you. But if you are looking for a truly revolutionary product that really controls oils, unlike a powder, unlike a setting spray, I have the product for you. So I recently reviewed the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm Powder. This stuff, I'm telling you what, it is sorcery. So it looks like a balm. Let me open it up just in case you missed that review. So this is the shade Universal, and it is exactly a balm, but it dries down to a powder formula. But there is a special ingredient in this product, and it has almost like a time-released oil controlling property. So I found my skin, for once in my life, was getting less oily as the day went on. That is unheard of for oily skin. But I feel like I'm a great person to test out these products. No, I'm not tooting my own horn, but not only do I have oily skin, but I also have very dehydrated skin. So I do not get on with products that really suck the life out of your skin and emphasize my dehydration. This product did not do that. So I know this isn't a drugstore product, but for $30 some, this is truly a revolutionary product in my opinion. All right, well, I do have to say, I do like how the look turned out. I hope you guys did too. It's definitely on the more natural side, but I really wanted to test out that bronzer for kind of that one and done look, and I'd say it definitely did that. Now, if I had to pick a couple of favorite products, it's really hard to pick, you guys, because this Neutrogena foundation, this is beautiful. Now, I don't think I'll be able to wear this in the middle of summer. I take that back. Actually, I might be able to pair it with this product. I'd be really curious to see how it does with this actually. So other than those, I would say these are definitely the standouts. As I mentioned, this mascara, it is phenomenal. If it goes viral, I definitely won't be surprised. And then this liquid bronzer is great. I have so many good things to say about it. The formula is fantastic. It's very easily blendable, does not emphasize texture. It actually has more than sheer pigment, and the shade is perfect. All right, well, I do hope you all enjoyed today's video, testing out some of these new products with me. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys.